Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to another class with CS Music Vocals Convention. I see people coming in, see some smiling faces, so good to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, hello. Oh, we are so glad to have everyone with us today. We're grateful for Minda Larsen, who's going to be speaking with us today. So happy to see you all. I just want to go over a couple of housekeeping items really quick before we get started. Just know that you'll be muted as you come into the class, and you will have the opportunity to ask questions later, either in the chat, or you can also do a digitally raised hand, and we'll take live questions after Minda is done with her presentation. Be ready with your questions at that time. And also just a reminder to be positive and supportive to one another, and make sure that you allow Minda to answer the questions, okay, that come up, because that's her job today. So, all right, without further ado, Minda, will you introduce yourself, and yeah, we'll get this started.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Hey, singers. It's great to meet you. I think you can all hear and see me. I am based in New York, but I am actually in Florida right now, quarantining at my mom's house. And yeah, before I even get started, I wanted to show you guys my fancy setup because self-tapes have become so important. So I have my Blue Yeti microphone, which I highly, highly recommend for Zoom and for recording. And then I also have this fancy, beautiful screen from Amazon, which is actually just set up in front of a bed. But it looks, as you can see, it looks super professional. And I do all my self-tapes and all my auditions and everything from this little studio. So having these like key little things help a lot. If you guys want me to put the link to Amazon, I can do that later. Hi everybody. So my name's Minda Larsen, and you know, you guys have been getting so much amazing information about the technique of singing and the techniques of acting and phrasing and the storylines and, you know, vowels and diction and all that amazing stuff. And I am a voice teacher, but I'm actually not talking about any of the technique of singing. Today, I want to talk about the technique of being a star in your own life, breaking into the business, making some real money in the process, and sort of what to expect when you get out of school. So I actually am titling this talk, The 5 Things That You Won't Learn in Music School That Will Change Your Career. And I know these things because I have spent 20 years in New York City as a performer, as an actor and a singer. And I spent about 15 of those years really, really struggling and really, really suffering. I mean, I was broke. I was waiting tables. I was a nanny. I was living with 6 roommates in Harlem. I was pounding the pavement, going to open call auditions. I was spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on my training, on audition classes, on casting director classes, on audition outfits, on getting my hair done, like all of the things, and it wasn't happening for me. And now I can happily tell you that at some point, I guess about 5 years ago, I sort of hit a breaking point. And I had, I guess, a spiritual makeover. I know that sounds kind of woo-woo, but a mindset makeover. And I completely transformed my career, my happiness, and my life. I now earn quite a bit of money. I live on Central Park, so I have a beautiful apartment on the 17th floor in Central Park. I have multiple jobs where I earn multiple revenue streams. So I'm a performer and an actor. I'm a voice teacher with a studio of about 75 students, and my students are starring on Broadway. I have students that were the original cast of Frozen, Bronx Tale, Anastasia, School of Rock, Matilda, Caroline or Change, that's hopefully opening in the fall. I have also traveled the world to over 80 countries performing a show that I wrote, and I make money doing that, which is very good. And so I'm basically living the life of my dreams, but not at all the life that I thought I was going to have. So similarly to you guys, probably, I went to undergraduate for vocal performance. I got a scholarship. I went to Ferryman University in South Carolina. I'm originally from the South, so I got a scholarship. I had no idea where to go. And full disclaimer, I was not accepted into Eastman and Juilliard and Carnegie Mellon and the schools that I really wanted to go to. And then I was a vocal performance major. So I guess, what is that? BM. I got a BM. And then I was accepted into the Manhattan School of Music, where I got my master's degree in vocal performance opera. So I thought that I was doing all of the right things. I'm a mezzo-soprano. I studied with very famous teachers. I lived in New York City. I basically sacrificed my college years to be in a practice room. I thought I was doing all of the things. And then when I got out of school, the reality of being an opera singer in New York City was way more harsh than I realized. And I ended up getting really, really sad, because I thought that I had done everything. I had worked so hard. I had the talent. I went to the right school. I studied with the right teachers. I lived in New York City, and things weren't happening for me. And as a result, my confidence really suffered. I felt that I wasn't good enough. I felt that there wasn't enough work for opera singers or performers or actors. And I think even deeper than that, and hopefully I don't cry. I'm a very emotional and passionate person, so hopefully I don't cry. But I think even deeper than that, I felt like I was maybe not capable or worthy of booking the work that I so wanted and so deserved. And I also was hell-bent on being an opera singer. And I ignored signs from the industry and from my own instincts that maybe opera wasn't the exact right path for me. And I just plowed ahead, like with this steel resolve, suffering and struggling the whole time, being, like I said, super, super poor. And also just not really booking the work that I wanted. When I changed my mindset, and learned the things that I'm going to talk about today, my entire career changed. It was nothing short of a miracle. Like I said, I started earning 6 figures in my career. I started getting standing ovations in the middle of my shows. I booked the very first major network television audition that I ever auditioned for. I booked Gotham on Fox. I'd never even been to a television audition, and I booked it. And then the next audition I went to, the very next audition, was for the Deuce on HBO, and I booked that. And I did not play a porn star, if any of you have seen that. I played a makeup artist. And I booked that, and I was so hell-bent on being an opera singer that I didn't even know that this career in film and television was available to me. I didn't even know that I could act. I didn't even know, and then all of a sudden I'm making a lot of money and getting huge visibility on major network television shows. I've now gone on to film 3 short films. I'm starring in a web series that is going to be released soon. And this is all in addition to my performing career. I made my Carnegie Hall solo debut last year. I've performed in Carousel, on Broadway, at Lincoln Center. Like I said, I have traveled around the country and the world performing a cabaret show that I wrote. So, like, all of these things are possible, but I never even believed that they were. Are you guys with me? Like, how do I see you all? Can you, hi? Oh, okay. I'm gonna go through like how to set up your home studio later. Can you guys raise your hands if you're in high school? So
Try
is
a
that
digital. Do a digital raise hand. There we go. We've got some
Oh, yeah, do
digital
a digital raise hand. It's on the bottom of your screen. A digital raise
under
hand.
participants.
Okay, awesome. Can you raise your hand if you're in college or graduate school? Oh, good. Can you raise your hand if you, okay, take your hands down. Um, can we clear the hands that, yeah, can you raise your hand if you're professional or graduated college, graduate school, like if you're done with school? Oh, cool. Okay, so this is gonna be a lot more helpful for you guys. Okay, so I am sending you a file. I hope that this works. I'm putting it in the chat. And this file is, did you get it? Did it go? Okay, okay, cool. Okay, so everybody open that file. Yay. Okay, that's my little gift file for you guys. And I'm gonna open it on my computer. Okay, so I know that you guys have been meeting colleges and like learning about colleges, or you're in college, or you're in high school. Some of the stuff I'm going to talk about, high schoolers, I really want you to pay attention, but I know that you probably don't care because it's about money and finances, and you're like, I don't need to worry about that yet, but you will, trust me. Okay. So everybody please open this little document. The 5 things that you won't learn in music school that have changed my career and that will change your career. If you guys have specific questions, maybe Mary, like if they stop, they're saying that they don't see it.
It's because people who are on phones won't probably be able to access it. So
should I screen share? Should I share my screen?
Yes, I think if you share your screen, that would be great. We can also make it available afterwards as well.
Okay.
So we can send an email with it.
Okay, is that like, can you see that?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, cool. So, all right, number 1, guys, and this is the most important one, be yourself, be your authentic self. What do I mean by that? I know you guys are from the woke generation. Like, you guys get how important it is to be an individual and to be yourself. But for some reason, I didn't get that fully. I spent most of my 20s and most of my 30s trying to be Kelly O'Hara or Audra McDonald. I would go so far as watch them on YouTube and like copy their phrasing and do the things that they do. I really had no idea who I was deep down as an artist, but also more importantly, as a human being. I was so concerned with getting it right, with being a good girl, with looking a certain way and acting a certain way, that I completely lost touch with who I really was. I remember I was singing a cabaret show and the pianist said to me, Minda, you just have to be yourself. And no joke, I burst into tears and I was like, I have no idea who that is. And then he's like, well, start naming things. And I was like, well, I'm from Florida, I'm married, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm Southern, I'm an actor. And he's like, that's not really who you are. Now, obviously, in like an hour, I can't teach you guys how to get in touch with who you really are, but I can tell you how I did it. And I can encourage you to start doing the work to tapping into your authentic self. Nobody, and I know this for sure, I'm like Oprah right now, like one thing I know for sure, you will not book a part or a role in opera and musical theater and TV and anything if you are trying to be something that you're not. Like, can I get an amen, people? Like, you will not. Or if you do, you'll only be able to keep it up for so long, and the suffering and the struggling, like it was for me, will be so great that it won't be worth it. So it's not sustainable. So how can you get in touch with who you really are? So this sounds very woo-woo, but I'm gonna go there anyway. You can meditate, you can pray, you can write in a journal, you can take walks in nature, you can, and I want you guys to like take notes on this. You can read books that I am recommending. And actually on the bottom of this PDF, you guys will see all books can be found here. Like I've put together a whole kit on Amazon. So what did I do? I read a book called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. It has a yellow cover. I highly recommend it. You guys may have read it already. You Are Badass by Jen Sincero. And at the same time, I did a meditation series called Desires and Destinies. It's by Oprah, my girl Oprah, and Deepak. And that's all linked in this, on this PDF. And I had like a mind explosion about what was possible for me. And I started realizing the self-talk and all of the doubts, all of the negative stuff that I was telling myself basically every single day. Stuff like, this career is too hard. You're never gonna make it. You're too old. You should have studied more acting. You should have gone to acting school. Nobody likes blonde girls anymore. Like whatever. Over and until that became my reality. So until you can get in touch with what's going on in your mind, you're not going to be able to control what you produce as an artist. I cannot stress this enough. And again, I can't teach you guys how to get in touch with yourself right now, but I can encourage you to start on that journey. And then look, it's a lifelong journey. I do something every single day. I do a morning ritual. So, and I wrote, so you guys may not know this, but I am a contributor to Classical Singer magazine, and I write a bunch of articles. And I just wrote one about a morning ritual. And this is a small thing that you can start to start getting in touch with your authentic self. So every morning, I spend 10 minutes meditating. I spend 10 minutes writing in my journal, and I write my dreams, my hopes, my desires, my frustrations. I spend however many minutes, 2 or 3 in prayer, and I spend 10 minutes doing some kind of movement. And it's every single day, and it's non-negotiable. So that is one way that you guys can start right now, is a morning ritual. And also start with that book that I recommended, and you'll see that I recommend a bunch more books. I truly, truly believe that you do not have to suffer as an artist. I truly believe you do not even have to be broke as an artist. You do not have to be a starving artist. And I'm hoping that by sharing this information with you guys are going to be able to skip ahead. Skip the 5, 10, for me, 15 years of suffering and start living your best life right now. You don't have to wait until you're at the Met. Please don't wait till you're singing at the Met, especially right now in this craziness. Please don't wait till you get your Broadway debut, which is what I was waiting for. Start right now, living your best life, getting in touch with who you really are, and figuring out what you want to do and say as an artist. I think, let's see, are there a lot of questions on this? I can't see the chat anymore because I'm screen sharing.
We don't really have any
so
questions
I think
yet, but be aware that we can only see about half of that screen that you're sharing. Like we see down to about number 4, and so just
yeah, that's all it's showing on mine. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So number 2 is how to make real money as an artist. There's a lot to say about this, and you guys can reach out to me after with questions, or I'll try to answer them afterwards. But the biggest thing I want to say about this is, again, back to my point number 1, do not wait for your Broadway debut or big break, because you will be super, super poor. Unless you are independently wealthy, unless your spouse is wealthy, or your parents or your grandparents are funding your career. If you do not have a way to pay for your life as an artist, you are going to suffer. And I, for one, would like to take away the stigma of having a day job, that means that you're selling out, that you're less of an artist. Day jobs can be the ticket to funding your creative life. Day jobs pay money, they give you benefits, they give you paid vacation. I would not be afloat if I didn't have amazing day jobs. Day jobs also will they will reward you for all these skills that you already have that acting and singing don't necessarily pay you for. So one of the things that I encourage even high schoolers to do right now is to start, like, jot down a bunch of skill sets that are interesting to you. Like, if you love graphic design, if you love managing social media, if you love teaching yoga, if you love bartending, like, what are the things that you think could be valuable to you in the future? So full disclosure, I also, for the last 8 years, have worked at a magazine in New York City. I am an event manager. I plan events for 2,000 people around the country. And they've also flown me to Switzerland and Germany more times than I can count. I have benefits. My husband has benefits. They pay for my cell phone. I never have to go into the office. I can work from anywhere. It is a dream job. In my blog posts, which are linked below, I talk in detail how I got those jobs. But if I didn't have those skills and hadn't developed those skills, I would have been waiting tables or a nanny in between my singing and acting gigs. And I'm 40 years old, I would still be doing that right now. And for me, that was just not the life that I wanted. So guys, do some soul searching, what skills do you have right now, or what classes can you take that you think, oh, I'm actually interested in accounting. I'm actually interested in legal work. And I'm not saying even get a double minor or a double major. You don't need to do that. It's just develop skills that can make you money in the future. And then that leads to get a great day job, or a job that doesn't crush your soul. If waiting tables crushes your soul, if babysitting crushes your soul, then don't do it, because you won't be happy and you won't be able to be your best self as an artist. The other major career that I have that I make money is teaching. And I have been able to stay afloat in this pandemic doing online lessons from my virtual studio. And I now have 75 students. That is real money, people. And you guys are all highly trained artists. I believe that you can start making money right now teaching. I am not going to get into how I set up my studio and how to start doing all of that, but I want you guys to be open that that's a possibility for you. I have several friends that are very famous opera singers who have reached out to me because they're unfortunately not working right now, that have said, can you please help me set up my voice studio? But they're years behind at this point. While if they had just kept, 5 to 10 students, that business would already be organically growing. So I really want you guys to think differently about teaching, or some kind of online learning that you can do from anywhere, that with the skills that you already have. And then one other thing, and again, I'm not going to get too deep on this, but it's really important, managing your money. Hey, raise your hands if you guys have a financial planner. Any hands raised? Who has a Roth IRA account? Okay, I'm seeing like a few, good. It's not enough. Who has a retirement account of any type? Okay, good. Guys, no matter where you are, if you are 20 years old, if you are 18 years old, go tell your parents that you want to set up a Roth IRA account. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Start saving your pennies, people, because then you're going to wake up and you're 40 years old and you're like, oh my gosh, that one big gig that I had, that ran out. Living this gig to gig life that is unfortunately the life of an artist in the United States. Artists don't really get salaries like they do in Germany. This will wear you down. If you are so desperate for money that you can't go out with your girlfriends or go on a shopping spree once in a while or take a vacation, you're going to suffer. You're going to get bitter. You're going to have resentment, like all the things that I did. You deserve to have nice lives. You deserve to do fun things, but you have to plan for it. It doesn't just happen. And look, I hope I'm an exception. I hope I book like a Netflix series, and I'm still praying for that and hoping for that big payday. But in the meantime, I'm not so broke and so struggling that I can't live my best life right now. So look, I hope all of you guys are the exception. I hope you all make your Met debut soon, or your Broadway debut, whatever it is. But until then, start setting yourself up for success. Start figuring out what skills you have to get good paying day jobs. Think about an online teaching studio and start saving your money. Set up an IRA or retirement account. Okay. Whew, that was a lot. Are you guys with me? Raise your hand. Are you with me? Are you feeling it? Okay. Yay. Okay. Yes. Oh, you guys are nice. And I get so emotional about this because I was you. I am you. And I really don't want you to suffer and struggle, and you don't have to. Okay. My next major point is create your own work. This is like a hallelujah moment. If you guys walk away with anything today, create your own work. When I got out of graduate school, okay, I'm going to speed this up. I got out of graduate school. I thought I was going to be a star on Broadway. I wasn't, because I had all this operatic training and never took an acting class. That's another point. Let me just say this right now. Take acting classes. Take acting classes, please, amen. Take dance classes, please, amen. Take improv, take screenwriting. If it lights up your soul, take jazz singing, learn how to hold a microphone, learn how to sing with a band. Learn the real life skills that are employable, and the ones I just listed, if you guys want to write those down. Learn how to sing with a band, learn how to hold a microphone, learn how to act, learn how to move on stage, improv, comedy. Those are hireable things that nobody told me in music school, or maybe one person, and it didn't resonate. So I'm telling you now, you don't have to do all of them, but do not just learn how to stand and sing. I think you guys know that. I think you do. But I just got to reiterate that. When I got out of graduate school, and I was very, very much in debt, student loan debt, and thought I was going to be a Broadway star, but I'd never really studied acting or dance, so that didn't happen. I got a job on a cruise ship, and I traveled around the world singing on a cruise ship. I met my husband. He's a Russian acrobat, so there's that. We're very normal. And I came back and I thought, okay, I'm now going to make my Broadway debut. And it did not happen. So I wrote a cabaret show. I had $500. I hired my best friend who was a pianist. This is another life tip, people. Make sure your best friends or husbands or wives are pianists. I mean, yeah, it's helpful for a singer. So be really good friends with pianists. They will help shape your career. And I paid him $500, and we wrote a cabaret show called How to Find True Love on a Cruise Ship. I made my own costumes, and I premiered it in a New York City off-Broadway club. I did all my own marketing. It was the scariest thing I've ever done. And that night, which was now 11 or 12 years ago, changed my life. I sold out that show. It got rave reviews from people that had never heard of me. It got picked up at the Savannah Music Festival, the Orlando Cabaret Festival, a festival in Miami. I got signed by a huge cruise ship agent, and I now work as a guest entertainer on cruise ships, or I did. Actually, next week I was supposed to be in Bora Bora. And I go onto the ship for a week, and I perform a show that I wrote, and I get paid a lot of money, thousands of dollars to do it. They fly me to Bora Bora. I stay in a beautiful cabin on a cruise ship. I wear my sequin gowns, and then they fly me home. It is a good gig. It all started because I did not make my Broadway debut, and I could have cried about it, and I did, but not done anything about it. And instead, I decided to create my own work in the meantime. I also call this your secret project. And I bet you have a secret project, something that you have always wanted to do. Maybe you've always wanted to write a play. Maybe you've always wanted to start a children's theater. Maybe you've always wanted to do Shakespeare. Maybe you've always wanted to write a web series or direct one acts. I would encourage you today, maybe even right now, jot down some of your ideas. Record a jazz album. What is it? And then by the end of today, I want you guys to circle what that one thing is that you've always wanted to do, dig deep, and I want you to start doing it. I want you to commit to starting to create your own work. I have a whole huge career as a cabaret singer. I have sung in every New York club. I've been reviewed by really famous publications. I've worked with very famous jazz musicians and cabaret artists. Last year, I was invited to sing at I was invited to sing at Carnegie Hall as a cabaret star, not as an opera star, not because I'd sung at the Met, but because I had established myself as a cabaret star in New York. That, again, goes all the way back to 12 years ago with my best friend, the pianist, and just creating my own work. The second thing I've done is I started writing a blog. I just decided I had these impulses to do real talk about an artist's life, started writing a blog, and Classical Singer Magazine, thank you guys, now publishes it. I get to meet you guys. I have been asked to speak at many universities across the country. I was just at NYU helping young singers. I've created an online course, and we'll talk about that later. And that was all just an impulse. That was me on Saturday nights, like writing on my laptop, real talk. And that has helped me forge this whole parallel career as a coach for artists. Create your own work. You can start with, here's another project, record your dream role or your dream aria or your dream song, put it on Instagram, title it like, this is my dream role, hashtag Puccini, hashtag La Boheme, whatever, and tag industry people in it. Why not? It's not going to be perfect. We all know you're in your living room. Nobody cares. And maybe the industry people that you're so scared to tag won't even look at it. Maybe they will. Do not be invisible. Create your own work. Okay, can I get an amen? Are you guys with me on this? Do you, give me a raised hand. So your homework, yes, oh my God, yes, woo! So your homework assignment, and I want you guys to write this down. What's your secret project? Like your one thing that you can start. Can you start writing that play? Can you start writing those poems? Can you put together your chamber music set list? And then the second thing is get on your Instagram, follow me, and then put up some clips of your work. And if you guys are scared, get over it. I'm scared every single day. You don't even have to try to get through the fear or make the fear go away. Just do it anyway. Okay, guys? Like, I'm gonna cry. Do it anyway. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I just did it. I posted a really scary, hard song from the musical Parade because I want to play Lucille in Parade, and I haven't yet. So I put it up there. So do it. If I do it, like, let's do it together. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of talking. Okay, create your own work. You guys clear on that? Okay, we're moving on. Get yourself together. What I'm talking about is tools. Like, these are the actual things. Resume, headshot, website, social media, and then the final thing is your teachers, your agents, your managers. I'm gonna go really fast through this, but we're gonna do it. Okay, can you guys see my headshot? Can you raise your hand if you see it?
No, we don't, Minda.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna stop share and then I'm gonna do a new share. Okay, here's some headshots of mine. Here's one. Okay, beautiful. I'm just doing, can you guys see it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so there's one, and mine are more for TV film right now. So just so you guys know that, this is like, oh, where is it? Can you see the other one, the new one?
It's the same one.
Okay, stop share. So how about if I do, there's a new one. So that one's for like when I get called in to play cops. And then let me just show you one more. And then this one is, oh, it's not letting me do it. Okay, whatever. And then I want to show you guys my resume. This one's really important. There, okay. Do you guys see how lined up everything is on this? And like how easy to read and like how nice it is? Agent, like how clear? Okay, your tools have to be perfect. I took this for granted, My headshot wasn't good enough. My resume was like messy, like stupid fonts, like all the things. I'm not going to get too far into this, but your tools need to be perfect. I'm going to talk at the end of this about a course, an online course that I created where I go into like a huge amount of depth of how to, I even show you how to build your own website on Wix.com. And I give you that template, that resume template, which I paid a fortune for. So you guys can just like insert your own information. I actually hired people to make my tools look really good. I spent, like, full disclosure, $1,200 on my website because it's worth it, because I'm a professional and so are you. So like, that's kind of all I'm going to say about it, but and if you want more information, message me or buy my course. And like, I talk about it at length because it's just that important. And I can't tell you how many times young singers, I'm like, what is this resume? Like, why is this so disorganized? And why does your headshot look like a glamour shot from like 1985? I think you guys know this, but like, you need to really know it. Also, your website needs to like be so clean and organized and like, okay, yeah. Okay, social media, like, duh, don't post like 10,000 annoying selfies or like bikini shots, like unless you're a model, or shots where you're drinking. Like, I honestly think of, and I tell all my students who are on Broadway, who have gotten cast on Broadway or auditions via Instagram, do not, please do not put anything on your social media that a casting director wouldn't want to see or hire you from. Okay, so it's just that simple. Like, I don't even do my mom because like maybe she likes some of my selfies, but like a casting director, like just think smart about it. Also use it as a casting tool. So if you want to create your own private accounts that are just like your friends and you, then do that, but put yours, like put your profile pic as like a headshot or something that's really professional, and put your name so that you're findable. And then if you do things, for God's sakes, post them on Instagram. Like if you're doing a cabaret show, or if you just booked something, or if you're, you know, got a call back, like put it up in a professional like way that shows the industry like that you're involved, that you're positive. Please be positive. And yeah, you guys get that, right? Okay. What else did I have to say about that? Oh, agents and managers and teachers. Again, I go way more into depth on this. I'm about to write a blog post on this. Hopefully these teachers aren't watching me right now. Okay, I'm not going to say bad. The wrong teacher for me almost ruined my life and career when I was an undergrad. If your teacher does not believe in you, find another one. Similarly, if your agent and manager doesn't believe in you, and you don't believe in them, and you don't trust your teacher, find another one. Treat it as a loving professional relationship, but be discerning about the people that you let into your world whose opinions will shape your career. When I was young, I listened to everybody. Like, I swear, like if the Starbucks barista had told me they didn't like how I sang, I would have like taken that advice, or the garbage man. Like, I listened to everybody. I now have, let's see, I have a voice teacher, I have an acting teacher, I have a performance coach for cabaret, and I have 2 managers, 5 people. That's who I listen to. 5. I don't like, like sometimes I'll take like classes from other people and I get their advice, and sometimes I take it and sometimes I don't, but I don't let those people in. I don't like let them shape how I view myself. And I just tell myself they're not part of my world. They can't damage and get into my authentic self. Okay, so talk to me more about that later if you need to. Be really discerning about your people. And you know, I have to say this, guys, your parents, your grandparents may not be your people. They are, unless they are performing arts professionals. Like, this is real talk. This is your career. Who are you going to let in to influence and shape your opinions and your decisions? Please don't let it be more than 5 to 10 people, and make sure those people believe in you. Believe in you. Okay, I'm gonna cry. Okay, what else do I have to talk about? Is anyone else gonna cry? Why am I crying? Okay. Follow the green lights. Wait, I gotta share this stuff with you guys. Where'd it go? Here it is. Oh no, that's my resume again. Guys, we're doing our best here. We're doing our best here. That's my resume again. This is.
No, that's right.
Can you guys see it? Okay. Follow the green lights. I talked about this briefly before, but do things that light up your soul. You have one precious life. If, for me, I will never forget my graduate jury or something. I was singing Carabino, and the juror wrote, "You're too focused on the character and on the acting. We don't care about the acting. All we care about is your voice and the ah vowel." That should have been a sign to me right away that maybe that I wasn't quite right on the right path with opera, right? But also, like, back to my last point, maybe that's not one of my people, right? Like, maybe that juror, I could have just been like, oh, well, they don't get me. I love acting. Instead, I think I cried like endlessly about that comment. I have always loved acting, but I denied that part of myself because they constantly told me in opera training that I didn't need it, that singing was more important, that languages were more important. I'm not saying that acting is more important than languages or vocal technique. I'm just saying, for me, I denied a huge part of my art and my passion because I was trying to do the right thing. So part of your morning ritual is your meditation and your prayer and your journal, and see what things come up. Like, if you love writing, screenwriting, if you love dance, if you love directing, if you love conducting, like, those things could be the things that set you apart after you graduate. So my acting and my writing, that's why I had a career in cabaret and now as a coach, and also can be on television. Even though I never officially studied acting, I'm like working a lot as an actor. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been taking acting for 10 years in New York with a fabulous teacher, but like, I had to do all that late. Whereas if I had done that when I was in my 20s or even in high school, I would have been so much further ahead. So follow like the green lights. I mean, like, your own intuition. Don't ever justify or feel bad about doing things that make you you. Whew. Okay. And then the other point of that is, like, people always said to me, the industry will tell you where you belong. And I never understood that because I wasn't in touch with my true self, and I was trying to be something I wasn't. As soon as I started being my real self, the industry told me exactly where I belong, and that's in acting and in film and television and in cabaret and in writing and coaching. Whew, it's not an opera. I have a master's degree from a top conservatory, and it's not an opera. I don't think I realized that until I was 34. Don't spend 15 years. Follow the green lights, your own intuition, your own instincts. And then when the industry gives you a job, like me on Gotham on Fox, don't go like, oh no, I'm an opera singer, I'm not even going to go to that audition. Go do it, for God's sake, and make thousands of dollars and get on TV. Is that clear? Like, I think I've explained that enough. And then I want you guys to be able to ask me a few questions. The last post that I wrote was called Star in Your Own Damn Show. And back to my original point, what I mean is, don't wait, guys. Star in your own life. Star in your own show. If the idea of living in New York City terrifies you, then don't. It's not worth it. If you have always wanted to be a blonde, but you're a brunette, and your teacher's like, you can't, like, you can. If you love wearing designer clothes, wear them. Like, where do you like to go on vacation? Like, what kind of car do you like to drive? What kind of books do you like to read? Like, get in touch with those things. Start doing them now. Don't wait for your big break. Create your own big break now. Whew. And you can like read all about it. But please don't do what I did and spend 15 years trying to please everybody else and getting it right when you could be living a wonderful, exciting, vibrant life as an artist right now. You have God-given gifts and talents that need to be shared right now. Whether that's on social media or starting on your secret project or redoing your wardrobe or giving yourself a makeover, like start right now. Okay, so on the bottom of this PDF, I break down all the blog posts that I've written, and you can also just find me on csmusic.net, and it shows all my articles, and they go into like way more depth than I've been able to go into today. And then to go even further in depth, I've created this whole online course called The Starving Artist Solution, which is 9 chapters where I talk you through every detail of how to manage stage fright, how to find an agent, how to create your perfect resume and website, all the mindset stuff that I did. And for you guys today, it's 50% off. So I think it's like $99 if you use this code, go for it. The resume template that I hired somebody to do cost me $200. So like, that's just full disclosure. If you guys are interested, follow me on Instagram. Wait, where's my Instagram? Here I am. I'm at Minda Larsen. Or send me, send me a message or whatever, and I can talk to you and tell you if the course is right for you. But basically, if this stuff has been resonating with you and you need it to go further, I highly recommend it. It's all videos, and then it's like workbooks and templates where you can insert your own stuff. You'll see me in my New York apartment. You'll meet my cat, all that good stuff. And then I also, just another free resource, all the books that I talk about and that have helped shape my mindset and my career. I put them on a whole Amazon thing. Can I like click on it? Yeah. I don't know if you guys are even seeing that, but yeah, you'll see it. And then, so like You Are a Badass, all the stuff about managing your finances, about self-confidence. Like I probably read 2 to 4 books a month, and it's all like self-help, business, mindset, like all that stuff. So that's another like important thing for you guys to do. And I think I've given you a lot of homework, but I just really want to, before I have questions, I just want to tell you guys that the life that you desire, the dreams that you desire are available to you. They may look different than you thought, but if you start finding your authentic self and honoring that, like the life of your dreams is possible. Okay, so that's my talk. Yay, amen. Yay! Okay, so
that was fantastic, Minda. Thank you so much. I think everybody, seriously, the chat is exploding. Everybody's just so appreciative and feel like they've learned a lot. So should we take some questions?
Yeah, let's take some questions. I think we have like 10, 15 minutes.
All right. So
I don't know how to do that.
There have been some in the past. Let me scroll back and see if I can.
Can we just have them raise their hands if they have a question?
You know what, Amber Murray. Yeah, Amber, will you unmute yourself? She's top here.
And hi.
Hi.
So I can sort of tell, like, at least I feel like I can tell that you're very in touch with your emotions. And as somebody with like the same, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh no, you're right, yeah.
Okay, just like as somebody who is also kind of like in that same situation, like I'm a very like emotional person. How did you kind of deal with the rejections that you had, and also your life not going the course that you thought it was going to go?
That is an awesome question. Okay, so you guys just hear me out on this one. God helps. Faith, whatever you believe in, and then that links back to your authentic self. So knowing that you are part of a big, beautiful universe, and that the universe is, this is very woo-woo, but knowing that the universe is inside of you and that you were created with purpose and with reason, and that actually you becoming famous or not famous, that can't touch truly who you really are. Look, I'm not gonna lie, that ain't easy. Like, I cry. I leave auditions and I still cry, and I get upset, and but I do now have tools and techniques in place that I don't spiral. Like, I used to spiral down dark holes. I've cried in auditions because I needed the job so bad. Obviously I didn't get it. But now, like, I can pivot. I hate the word pivot. I can rebound way faster because I have these tools and techniques, because I know who I am. And also because I got money in the bank. Like, hello, like practical stuff. Like, I have a cool apartment on Central Park. Like, I hate to be superficial, but like, that helps. If you're broke, living with 6 roommates, like, can't even afford to go to H&M and buy a new outfit, and you're not booking any jobs, like, that's sad. So you got to get the tools in place so that your life is set up so it just doesn't matter that much. Does that help you?
No, it definitely does. Thank you.
Like, God, or whatever you believe, something bigger than yourself, the morning ritual, and then like getting the tools together so that you can live like a great life. Like, you're like, all right, I didn't get that audition, but hey, I'm chilling in Central Park with my like pina colada. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Bruno, do you want to unmute yourself, Bruno?
Laura has a question. I see her too. Bruno.
Yes. Thank you for the masterclass. You said something very interesting about getting your soul crushed. So how do you build the confidence to avoid this crushing in the path?
Well, I mean, I guess that's sort of similar to what I just answered. Like, that's where I say start in your own damn show. Like, start living your best life right now, and stop waiting for the industry to give it to you. Because even if you get a Broadway show, like, COVID might strike and then you're not working anymore. Or even if you get, like, I made like my Lincoln Center debut, and then the next day I was waiting tables. Like, that's the industry. And like, if you guys can't handle that, I'm sorry, that's what it is. Like, it's right now, it's like, it's crazy, but before that, it was still awful. Like, and I have friends that are famous. I mean, singing Mimi at Chicago Lyric Opera that temp in between jobs. Like, that's just, so I think just knowing that, but then also knowing, like, I have a great life. Like, I have God-given talents and gifts that I'm going to share with the world. Like, I am enough. My dreams are important. They're going to come true. So I guess I would urge you guys to like start living that right now, and stop waiting for the person behind the table to give you permission to do it. Yeah, you're going to get rejected, like a lot. Like, I can't even tell you how much, unless you're an exception. But that doesn't mean that like you human being, Minda, Brianna, Lexi, Daniela are rejected. It just means like you didn't get that role. So you have to separate your worth from your work as an artist. Whoa, that's really great. Hard. Like, that took me like a lot of therapy. So I just saved you guys like thousands of dollars. Okay, so you're welcome. So Thank you, Minda as a singer is not the same as Minda as a human being, you know? Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So Lexi Howard, do you want to unmute yourself and you can ask your question? Yes, and Laura, sorry, just one sec, Lexi. I've seen a couple of people who are doing this in the video. It'll be a lot easier if you can put it in under the digital raise hand. So go to participants, and there's a place where it says raise hand. So try that, okay?
Okay, so as a 14-year-old that does community theater, I struggle a lot with politics and people's parents getting their roles and opportunities for them. How would you deal with that? Well,
you're going to deal with that when you're 14 and when you're 40. So that is just, the reality. I would use the same statement that I used when talking about when the juror told me that I was too much of an actor and not a singer. You just tell yourself this phrase: they are not part of my world. Who's part of your world? Put those 10 people on a list. Those people are part of your world. Those people get to control your emotions and your feelings and your opinions. Everybody else gets a very nice, oh, thank you, great, bye-bye. It's that simple. Politics exists everywhere. People that won the American Idol are going to get a role over me on a Broadway show, even though I can sing better. Like, you know what I mean? Or because their dad is famous, or because they worked with the director. Like, it's just this business. So the sooner you can just not take it personally, the better. And really, truly, like, I know, like I said, I got my 5 people. Everybody else, I'm like, and look, you can cry about it and stamp your feet outside of their view, you know, in the privacy of your own room. But then you get on with your life and you go, you know, you create your own work. You make some killer viral YouTube thing that, like, haha, you didn't give me the role because your daughter got it, but like, look at what I'm doing. You write your novel, you know, like, you go do it anyway.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes. Okay, so
Amen.
Amen. Brianna Williams, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I just, oh, hello?
I see you. Okay, I see you. Yes.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry, it's a headshot. But I really just wanted to say thank you. It's more so a comment that I am a recent master's graduate. So I just graduated this semester, and I'm so happy that I was able to just hear you talk about these things, because we focus, you know, schools, they focus so much on the voice that sometimes they forget to prepare you. Like, what are your finances looking like? What's your day job gonna be? They kind of forget to like bring up those things. So I just want to thank you for that, and just inspiring me to create my own work. If you don't get hired for something, create a recital, do something to advertise get your own work.
Guys, let's talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda. Look at the own work he created. I don't know if you guys have seen Fleabag on Amazon. Like, what's her name? She won like 3 Golden Globes. She wrote, she starred, she produced in her own television show, and like she's famous. So yes, I wouldn't have a career if I hadn't created my own work. It's just as simple as that.
So Daniela Monson, do you want to
Thank
unmute yourself? Yes, thank you. I think she's coming.
I'm reading some comments too.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just taken aback by everything. I brought this notebook for the convention, and I'm sure 30 pages are just based off of you. But
yes.
Said to me, just really struck a chord, like really fine-tuning or honing in on the skills that you already have. I feel that so often, at least in my undergrad and now graduate studies, I've been told, all right, you can't be a jack of all trades. You got to find the one skill and just get really, really good at that. So in that case, I was like, well, let's work on the voice. I've kept my piano chops, all of these things. But when you bring this idea to the table of really honing in on the skills that you feel like make you you, how would you approach that in a world where it's not enough to be a jack of all trades, but rather expected to be amazing at all trades? I don't know if that made any sense.
Well, look, you can't be amazing at all trades. Like, I'm not an amazing dancer. Like, that's not on my Instagram handle. I mean, how do I answer this? Like, I guess I'm saying, like, and it's trial and error. Like, I started a bunch of blogs that didn't work. And I'm 40 years old. Like, I'm not 20, you know, so it's trial and error. But like, I guess I'm saying, like, just try and fail and try and fail again until things stick. Are you talking in terms of day jobs or like artistic skills?
I'm saying more artistic skills, because like you, I really took advantage of the whole online studio, trying to figure out the website platform, and I guess trying to figure out what the next step would be in terms of making myself marketable as a music teacher, or hey, she's a music teacher that can also.
Okay, so there is also a really important thing I haven't talked about, which I know you guys don't want to hear, but you do have to invest in yourself. So like I did spend a lot of money learning how to teach voice lessons. Like I studied from my teacher and then I paid her commission. Like I've done those things. I have a mindset coach. I have a therapist. I have a life coach for artists. So like I spend money on these things. You're just not going to have all the answers, which is like my online course. It's $99, but it's like an investment in like me telling you how to set things up. You know what I mean? So you're not going to have all the answers. So you like banging your head on the computer, like, why aren't people,
right?
Like maybe you're not on the right platforms. Maybe your home studio isn't good enough. Like maybe, maybe you need to put up videos on Instagram. Like, I don't know all the things, but like, you should probably outsource some of that. Like I hire people to help me with social media. I hire people for everything. Like hire people. And usually I hire artists. So like I hire a lot of young singers too. Like, or like do a barter. Like, but I would outsource some of that because that's some of that you have to learn. Like artistic skills, just do it all. Like you're going to be too artistic. Like, no. I mean, maybe like if you make $0 as a choreographer, like don't spend all your time doing it. Well, let me say this too. Follow the money-making initiatives. Like, and that goes back to my follow the green lights. Like if people are paying you real money, people, then for God's sake, take it, do it. Don't like, oh no, I'm too noble, I'm an opera singer.
Right.
Like, if people are paying you to take lessons or if people are paying you to do their social media or to teach them yoga, like, okay, like do that and see where it leads. So follow the money, write that down, like follow the money making initiatives. That was a random answer, but hopefully that helped.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Daniela. So Jacqueline, hopefully you saw the answer to your question about the second page. We're going to try to get that to everybody of Minda's PDF. So JT, do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yeah, okay. So I was just wondering, I'm a high school student and I was looking for ways to try and like do what you're saying, like invest in yourself. And I was going to start a YouTube video. my YouTube channel later in this week, but
cool.
I have a lot of old videos of me singing right now, and I was wondering if it would be beneficial to post those along with new pieces to show like growth.
No.
No.
I'm very blunt if you guys haven't. No, post your best stuff only. And
Okay.
Once you have stuff that's better, take the old stuff down. I mean, I need to do that too. I have some old crap up there, but like, no. They don't care about your growth. They just care about you right now.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's the same for auditions too, guys. They don't care where you went to college. Like, I'm sorry. They may care like to get an agent, to get a showcase, like when you're first starting, but they really just care what you can do in the room. So nobody cares about your journey. They just don't until you're famous. So it's just present your best self right now. I did see something in the chat I want to say, because it's really important. How did I get my agent? My agent came to my cabaret show that I created. Okay? Whoa, like, whoa. My agent came to my cabaret show and signed me backstage at the show. My cruise ship agent came to my cabaret show that I paid for, that I created, and sat in the audience. So I'm not famous, so just so you guys know, this creating your own work, being visible, it really does work.
Yeah, great. Mary Sandell, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So my question, I just privately messaged it to you. I'm not in high school. I'm not in undergrad. I'm not in grad. I'm I'm your age, maybe a year older. And I'm trying to get back into the business. What have you seen about age out there? Do I not?
It's a great time to be a woman. Finally, alleluia. It is a great time to be a woman in her 30s, 40s. Finally, alleluia. Look at Netflix. Look at like look at Broadway. Look at Next to Normal. Look at Jagged Little Pill. Look at the roles that are coming up for. It's a great time to be a minority. It is a great time to be you. So the industry is changing. It is changing super fast. So yes, hell yeah, go for it. Like they need 30, 40-year-old women with life stories. They need you.
Okay.
Yeah, and look at those roles. Look at, I mean, I'm doing, more Broadway, but like Next to Normal, Fun Home, Jagged Little Pill. Like, look at those women. They're amazing. Parade, like all my dream roles. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. All right.
Yes, come from away. So many.
Come from away. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah.
Gwen Ricks, do you want to unmute yourself? We probably have maybe like 3 or 4 minutes left, Minda.
Okay.
Okay, so right now I'm 17 and I have a voice teacher and a piano teacher. But at what point in my career or like my journey would you recommend that I get like an agent or an acting coach or a manager or like take a dance class or like really start expanding like that? Like, should I do that in college? Should I do that after I've graduated? What would be a good time to start doing things like that?
It depends on your career trajectory. Like my students in New York City have agents and managers when they're 8 years old, and they take dancing, acting, like everything. So like if you want to be on Broadway, then yeah, you need to be taking acting and dance right now. If you are not ready to audition for agents and managers, like if you don't think you could go book professional work on, in a large regional house or on television or on Broadway, then don't audition for them. Like make sure that you're ready. And that's back to like knowing who your people are, like have the people in your corner that you trust, like a voice teacher or whoever that's like, no, you're ready. Like you could go be in a production of whatever. So don't do it before you're ready. Like this is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's not like get everything, because like then you could get a horrible agent or like I don't know. But in terms of agents and managers, like I think the industry will tell you when you're ready, and they usually will like find you or take a class. They come to New York, take a class, and they'll give you feedback like you're just not ready. You need more acting or whatever. And then what was the other part? Oh, all the artist skills, that is like, again, trust your instincts. If you think you're going to be an opera singer, then stay in piano for sure. If you think you're going to be on Broadway, then like take dance. And I know you don't know that yet, but like just follow your instincts to the best of your ability and like see what skills you need and learn them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or we have one more?
We have several more. Unfortunately, we probably won't have time to get to everybody, but I think we could take one more. So Carrie G, do you want to unmute yourself?
Sorry, I just had to figure out how. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have 2 real quick questions. The first one, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews for singing on cruise ships. What was your experience like? Did you find it exhausting? You were just working constantly, or did you just really enjoy it?
I've been to 85 countries. I paid off my student loans working on cruise ships. Like I met my husband. I make a lot of money. I wear sequin gowns. That was my experience. That's not everybody's experience. Typically as an entertainer on a cruise ship, you're treated very well. You also get to travel and save money and learn a lot of skills you don't learn in music school, like how to sing with a band, how to move on stage, how to hold a microphone, how to carry an audience, how to win over an audience. So for me, it was a great first job.
Well, thanks. My second one is, so like some of the other people in this chat, I'm older, I'm 29. I only got a bachelor's and not a master's. What I love most to do is actually music theater. Do you feel that I would need to move to New York for that in order to get more opportunities, or can I really do that from anywhere?
You need to live in a city where there's substantial theater work if you want to do musical theater. That does not have to be New York. Who knows how this industry is changing? I do feel like for the first round of auditions, you may be able to self-tape even for big theater. Like I know Frozen, before it closed, unfortunately, you could like send in a self-tape for Frozen. You obviously don't have to live in New York for that. But I'm sure the callbacks would have then been in New York. So then you would have to figure out how to get yourself to New York. I think it's the same for television. They're all saying like the first round will be a self-tape, which goes back to my like setup, and then get yourself to the callback. If you don't want to be a Broadway star, then you don't have to live in New York. And you don't have to be a Broadway star, and you can like be a star of St. Louis, a star of Miami, a star of Detroit, and like have a fabulous life. So, but you can't, like, I don't know if you can be like the star of Timbuktu if there's no theater there, you know, like, so yeah. And I just want to say, guys, okay, I know you guys are all like chatting. So my Instagram is @Minda Larsen. And then my course, my online course, I'm going to put up something on my Instagram. It's also on that PDF. If you guys like want more detailed, you know, questions, and a lot of you have like private messaged me stuff, I will try to answer that. I don't know how, because I think the Zoom will end. So maybe send it to me on Instagram and I will try my best to get to all of you.
Thank you so much, Minda. Yes, they can also reach out to CS Music and we'll do all we can to connect you.
Should I try to send the PDF again, or like, let me...
You know what, unfortunately, I think we have run out of time, and we literally are starting the class here, next class here in just a couple of minutes. So we're gonna get kicked out, unfortunately, but
you guys are so awesome.
It has been fantastic. Everyone has loved it. So thank you so much.
I'm taking screenshots of you all. Okay, so wave. Yay!
And I can send some too, because I have some for you too. So
you guys are awesome. I love you. Believe in yourselves. Bye.